Okay, let's go the messy. I've got a golden cobalt teal. I'm using it so much lately, but I've always got it mixed up, so I gotta use it. Interference violet, ColourArte Bling it. These interference pigments from ColourArte, I swear, are the best things I've ever seen in my life when it comes to colour. So that was the interference violet. This one here is an interference gold with a tiny little bit of interference green in it. So I've tried to sort of go for an interference mint, which adding a little bit of the gold has taken it from a true interference green into the mint category. Okay, I'm going to go the ColourArte Primary Elements Boysenberry. Full on colour. Bit like a ultramarine blue, kind of purple. This is Mystic Blue from ColourArte. I feel like this Mystic Blue is ColourArte's best turquoise pigment. It's called Mystic Blue, but it's more turquoisey. It's a very green blue, which is just absolutely beautiful. I've actually put a touch of the golden heavy body phthalo turquoise in there, just to beef up the colour a little bit. Okay, what next? Probably a little bit of black. This is Holcroft Carbon Black. It's just going to help define ourselves once we add our air to it. The black under the white is a really good way to add a bit of a surrounding border to yourselves before you activate them. Having a darker colour on top, which I know I've mentioned quite a few times, but if you're using a white top paint, I would highly suggest a dark colour underneath that. If you have one of the light interference colours and then you put your light colour on top as your last colour, you're not really going to see the definition between those two very much. So kind of learn over the years that dark light, dark light, dark light works really well with pouring in puddle pours and layers like this. Plays a very big part in cell definition, I think anyway. Okay, let's blast this baby. Much better than the old lungs, I've got to say. So I'm just going to let that come back in there. That was not a wine lid. Okay, so I might have blasted this a little bit too hard, so let's talk about what to do when your middle is stuck. There's ways around it. You don't always have to have the whole thing moving at once, even though it's preferable. There's ways around it. See if that's getting really, really stuck, which it definitely looks like it's just not going to move as a whole. Let's just see. Okay, see how the middle's stuck? That's okay. It's not a problem that we can't get around. It just means that when we tilt, we need to go a heck of a lot slower. We can still get some paint off here, or we might even get that to move if we just sort of go like this a little bit. Might start to kind of come into the middle there and just push that middle enough to release it. Sometimes it's just a matter of time. On a smaller canvas, I've worked out that, yeah, you can definitely just get that paint off the edge and then move back, regardless of whether the middle is stuck or not. You can still get that happening, but on a larger canvas, yeah, there's a lot more distance to make, so it's more ideal if that's moving all together. Oh, so glad I didn't have to show you how to do that with the middle stuff, because yeah, I wasn't even sure I could make that work. Now I don't have to. See, so the hairdryer is a really amazing way to get enough air on there to stretch a single bloom. This board is, holy crap, 14? Ooh. Okay, so see that? We don't want that. We don't want to have to try to paint that in with a brush. That's just going to be absolutely painful. Can't stand paintbrushes. Fluid artist. No brushes in my house. Rather just, yeah, let the paint do the talking and the walking. Fill up that spot. It's well worth just going the extra tilt off the side rather than try to touch that up yourself. So I'm just going to bring that back until I look at it and feel happy with it. It's a bit of a skew-if bloom in the middle. That's okay, we're going to fix that in a sec. Okay, so it looks a little bit like a bit of a line there coming through, which isn't absolutely fugly, but we'll try to stretch that out a little bit. Let's get them, stretch it out this way a little bit. Try to get a bit more width in the middle there. Down that way. So see how there's not too much paint coming off, and I'm doing quite the vertical tilt here. That's a good thing. It means that our painting is going to dry to perfection. We don't have to worry about our paint being too thick on the bottom layer. So sometimes I do this vertical tilt and it just takes like 10 minutes for it to stretch out. That's the beauty of the pouring medium. Just stretches colour beyond words. It's amazing, love it. Don't think we're going to get rid of that stripe though. We've got not enough paint on here to make that work. So hopefully someone out there likes a big stripy line action cell channel through the middle. Definitely different. That's what we want. We want different. We just don't want. Got a little bit of flocculation there with the black, as that must have started to dry a little bit before I stretched it. So I'm just going to see if I can get, yep, that's working. Some of that nice black that hasn't flocculated. Take that off the edge and then that little problem's fixed. I feel like with the messy pour, best to try not to go too hard with the hairdryer so that your middle sticks, because my needle didn't want to move after it stuck to the bottom, so possibly that was because I just hit it too far straight down with the hairdryer. I think might do a little bit of an experiment where I just blow the petals out straight from the middle with the hairdryer and I don't actually go straight down first. And we'll see how that works. So maybe I don't have to hit the bottom of the canvas. The air can stay suspended in the thick paint. And that way we have our pillow left to spread our bloom. That's the theory. I still like it though. The purple's just blinging off its head, so it's good enough for me. 14-inch round.